afternoon, I'm Tricia Abbondanzo from Abbondanzo's Landscape and Design, and this is Landscaping in the Garden State. I'm back today with another What's That Plant? Today we're talking about rhododendrons. You can see behind me, rhododendrons are blooming in New Jersey right now. Just started, an incredible display. Now rhododendron in Greek actually means rose tree, so you can see why it was named that based on the flower. Now these plants that you see behind me are about 10 to 12 feet tall. They can also be pruned to be kept smaller, but they can grow actually up to 80 feet. They are a woody plant. They're actually in the heath family. Now they have about 4 large subgenera and about 4 smaller ones, but you can pretty much think of it as 3 groups. You have your evergreen rhododendrons, you have your deciduous rhododendrons that will lose their leaves in the winter, and then you have your azaleas, which is a 3rd group. Now these are terrific plants in New Jersey, very heavily used in the landscape. They do like some shade, so the northern exposure of a house is a terrific place to plant them. They are acid-loving plants, so they will need a pH of about 5.5, so your soil will need to be amended, and you won't want to plant these right with plants that need a higher pH than that. Now you can amend the soil with the chemical use, or another thing that you could do is to use pine needles as a mulch. That is going to add the acidity to the soil that these plants love. If you prune these plants to keep them to a smaller size, you want to make sure you do that after they flower. Otherwise you're going to cut off the blooms and you're going to reduce your display. If you do a severe pruning, which sometimes they need, expect that it could go 2 to 3 years without blooming for you. But when it does come back, it comes back gangbusters. There aren't really any significant insects or diseases. I mean, it will get some leaf spot or some root rot and some blight, but nothing really significant. About the only significant pest that this plant has is deer. The deer do love to eat rhododendrons, so you are going to want to either use fencing or use a deer spray. Again, these are rhododendrons. They're blooming in New Jersey right now. For Landscaping in the Garden State, I'm Tricia Abbondanzo.